Hey, what's up, YouTube world? I just wanted to come on totally inspired again. I wanted to talk to you all today. It is October 28th. We are in Scorpio season. It's well underway. And I didn't print out the chart or anything, but I wanted to pay it forward of just some things I was reflecting on and going deep with. And one of those things is what causes your spiritual awakening. Not really what causes it is where I'm wanting to go today, but more so like symbolically. It's when we wake up from the programs of families and their programs and see a bigger perspective. And it's super important to realize this when we have that spiritual awakening, to realize that we have an expansion of what we carry. And we kind of look at the family dynamics and go, wait a minute, all of these belief systems, all of these structures that I was raised in, or even maybe past lives, they just don't resonate with me. So our awakenings cause us to have a bigger expansion in our perspective. And we start realizing that we're more connected to all things versus maybe just the program of what we were taught. And so it doesn't matter if it's family or schooling or whatever in society, it causes us to have a bigger perspective and an expansion. And on a soul level, what happens when we awaken is that our light gets bigger. It's almost like the ego, and it's almost like the program. We've been scared and we've dimmed our light for so long, but once you're awake and you realize the programming you've been into, it allows a heart expansion. It allows the mind to expand in its perspectives. And so I thought it was huge to share right now with Mercury getting ready to, if it's not already, I don't even know. I didn't, like I said, I didn't print the chart, to realize what's happening with this revisit of the expansion of the mind, a rethinking of, wait a minute, these belief systems and these structures that I was programmed into, whether it be family, religion, school, do not resonate with me anymore. And so our light gets brighter. And what happens oftentimes is that's why families don't usually shift together. Because if your family's been so strongly rooted in a belief system, whether it be religion or how they do things or the lack of communication, oftentimes they're so fixed in that and not willing to see a different perspective. It's to the empath usually ends up walking away and starts walking in their authenticity and in their path in a different light with a bigger perspective. I think what happens in childhood is nobody wants to allow their own little light and their own little light to shine. And so we're ingrained in this. We don't realize because we look to the mother and the father usually, unless you've been raised by somebody else. Whoever's raised you, we are programmed into their belief system, which is fine and dandy. Everybody can have different perspectives. But when somebody in the dynamic wakes up and they go, wait a minute, this person's not who I thought they were. This structure's not what I thought it was. And what happens with the one that awakens is usually the one that's outcasted, black sheep, snuffed. And that's because everybody else is keeping their lights low, their power low, feeding off each other's power instead of their own life force energy with that oneness connection of God, Creator, Source, that they a lot of times take everybody else's energy. And so that's what happens, when families don't shift together, there's a reason. There's somebody so fixed in, stiff-necked in their belief system that they're not willing to expand their heart. They're not willing to expand their perspective in the mind. And the mind for me is a huge thing right now because of this Mercury growing retrograde. We're in Scorpio season. And so that's all about the communication expansion of the mind. And it's no coincidence yesterday the Schumann resonance spiked again, and I really was like, whoa, if that isn't significant as well, because that light coming in and integrating into our vessels is another form of expansion. I did share a short YouTube last night on the symptoms I was feeling, but just before I came on, boy, I was really in the vertigo again, and my vision is readjusting to the light frequency that I'm integrating as well, because as above, so below. We're getting these frequencies of our central sun, the Christed light, integrated into our vessels of who we truly are, but we're still in this vessel of density. And so the lightheadedness is still sticking with me today. However, I'm noticing my vision is readjusting, recalculating. I did a YouTube, I don't know when, on Spirit was telling me recalculating, and I feel that's what our shift is doing. My passion and what inspired me spiritually to come on today was, guys, realize if you've been in a program and you're spiritually awake, whatever puts you into your spiritual awakening, understand that your light is expanding. And a lot of people are intimidated by that. That's why those that have been the closest to us, whether it be in this lifetime or the last, everybody's played small. Us way showers, light workers, empaths are learning our power through that light, through the Christ consciousness, through the heart expansion, and the mind. With this Mercury now into Scorpio season retrograde, I think it goes, I don't know, through October 31st or something, whatever. It's giving us a little revisit to go, wow, now I see why I've walked out of that program. Wow, now I know why my expansion, heart chakra, higher heart, divine heart, has caused with this integration and awakening our mind and our perspective to also expand. And so I want to highlight that the sign of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio with this water, very deep water, you emotional signs really need to work on healthy boundaries the most. We all have water in our chart. We are made up of all four elements. But if you have like sun sign or moon sign, something very significant in Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio season, it's huge because we've given our life force energy naturally to other people, making sure they're all taken care of, making sure that their well-being's there, encouraging them to step into their full power. And then if you do that, specifically you highlighting you water signs, you're leaking out all of your life force energy, and then you wonder why you're exhausted because you've given out all of your light lamppost and you've saved none for yourself. You're always people pleasing and making sure everybody else is okay and that their needs are met. And you really need to really consciously think about that with this deep Scorpio season, because we are made up of all four elements, but specifically those that are very highlighted in the emotional signs, the water signs. You've leaked out. I guarantee you, from the Pisces age to where we're shifting into, we've leaked out. I did it. It's like you support everybody in what their likes and their passions are and what they find that makes them tick, their life force energy. But we've been on this where we give, and not that we give to receive, but when there's not a balance and harmony in that give and receive, because you're tending to everybody else all the time, that's why the self-love and self-worth on my channel is the most important, because we cannot give from an empty cup. And so, what else? I wrote some notes that were coming to me in fast downloads today, and it's not a surprise to me because my sun sign's Virgo, so it rules. Mercury rules my sign, my sun sign. So, what else? You have to have healthy boundaries because you are fluid. You're water. You're the element of water. Well, we're all four elements, but highlighting this, you leak your life force out to everybody else. And by the end of the day, you're exhausted and you have no life force energy. And a lot of us have been in these dynamics of, wait a minute, this does not resonate with me. This relationship doesn't resonate with me, because we've been in this position, being healers, not knowing it, of making sure that everybody else was first. And we've got into these dynamics in relationships that were supposed to be intimate. I believe all relationships should be intimate, but there's a problem here, because it's most likely that you've been into this system where there's takers, and that is even of your life force energy. You'll know this. It has to be a balance of give and receive, not because you're giving in wanting to receive in return. It's a matter of each person holding themselves accountable in their own energy and realizing that we have to have a balance of give and receive, because it's respectful, it's integrity, it's truly what love is. It gives and receives without any hooks. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was something that came through with me. Started last night with the Schumann resonance and then continued today. And I'm like, we got to reel our life force energy back in. And when you do healthy boundaries specifically, I'm going to encourage this with you water signs right now. Like I said, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We're in Scorpio season. It's deep. The moon is in Scorpio through today, and it'll shift into the fiery sign of Sagittarius tomorrow. So we'll see, maybe the emotions won't be so deep. But the highlight of this is with Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio season is a revisit of where you're giving your life force energy away. And it's no coincidence that it's going to be in Scorpio, and a little revisit. You can look around and feel energetically, like, have I been a do for everybody else? But when I'm open and receptive, am I receiving? And you're going to probably find alarming, hell no, you haven't been. It'll leave you drained and exhausted. And so I'm going to ask you to anchor into that life force energy. Start instilling very healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries does not mean you don't love. And so when you start instilling these healthy boundaries and people get in a riff or a tiff, those are the ones that you definitely need to work on, because they will show themselves to you. So anybody that holds space for you truly and honors and respects you and has the integrity and transparency will also be a giver to you, not just a taker. And a lot of times I'm really symbolically speaking of energetically, not just physically. So think about that. Pause on that. Reflect on that. Take some action. Like Mars is the action planet. I do believe it's in Scorpio as well. Make sure you're taking action with it, because going forward it's just going to increase and intensify. Be transparent with yourself. Don't snuff whatever comes up. Make sure you're anchored in your own life force energy and you're not leaking it out to everybody else, because if you do, you're going to be exhausted. You won't even have the energy to keep shifting through all these shifts that we're going into. Okay, is that it? Just remember that your spiritual awakening is an expansion from the belief systems and the program that you've been in. And a lot of times this is a very deep, subconscious, deep, dark water program. Nobody even knows they're in it. But what causes this to change for you is the dynamic of, whoa, I'm awake. I'm looking around at all these people. Nobody is what they say they are. We've been in a program. And it's not a balance of give and receive. It's been a complete, like, you're taking my life force energy. I'm doing. Even holding space for the other person and encouraging their power, but you're not giving it to yourself, and nobody else around you is giving it to you. It's called holding space, and it's super duper important. I'm going to do a mystical shaman oracle for us, just to sum this up. A little more confirmation of what I spoke on today that you can possibly walk forward with. Smoky mirror. Oh, and we got two. The smoky mirror, card number 47. You're looking around You're looking not only within your own energy, you're looking at other people's energy. We're really, with this awakening, looking around going, you know what? Do you represent to me how I feel on the inside? We have a healthy give and intake of energy? Give and receive. Look through the illusions. Smoking mirror to me is also that. This is also a matter of doing the mirror effect that I've often spoke about with empaths. If you're around somebody that is a energy vampire, you can hold that mirror up, reflect their energy back to them, and that's when you'll notice people. You really do irritate their demons when you do that. Card number 34, many paths in the heart center. We got the sun at the top, which is the life force energy. That's where the light is coming from, our central sun, integrating the Schumann resonance spike yesterday, integrating that into our heart space. It's really transforming us. And I almost want us, this came to me too as well, with these solar flares, the Schumann resonance and the light frequency changing, shifting us, and it's really just reacting to our consciousness. You have many paths to choose. You can keep going down the same path energetically. A lot of us are feeling that it's a no-go on that. Or you can choose a new path with that heart center illuminated, stepping forward into your authenticity, which I say that on this channel all the time. It's so important. Self-worth. Choosing a new path in your heart center and not really being concerned of what people outside of you think. If there's a problem with somebody speaking your truth and you being in your heart center and vocalizing, communication's been snuffed for so long, especially the divine feminine, guys. We've been in this program of masculine out of balance. And so it's very important that you start in your heart center, speaking your truth, allowing your light to shine and stop dimming it, and making sure that you're in these healthy, intimate relationships, more turning towards the North Node in Cancer, another water sign of what we want family structures to be, because we've been in a program. And a lot of it's been conditioned by families, religion, society, and a lot of us on this awakening and the support we have with the light coming in, that Christ light, is to step into your authenticity in the heart center and choose maybe a new path. Families don't shift together oftentimes unless you're really super fortunate and you have everybody awaken to a new perspective, or at least hold space to hear you. There is no more closed throat chakra. And do some affirmations like, I am in my power in my heart. I am open and willing to receive just as much as I give. Just affirm whatever feels right within you. I'm worthy of give and receive. I'm worthy of self-worth. I'm worthy of good things and balance and harmony. Whatever feels right with you, because you can reprogram this Mercury mind, these belief systems of family structures, religious structures, society structures. You can reprogram, drop all old belief systems and go with your own. The heart, the truth is the way. Send this to you with so much love and many blessings to everybody. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments with the Schumann spike. Definitely a little bit of the vertigo, and my vision is adjusting. So to me, I just resonate with that, going, guess what? Your pineal gland and your third eye and your heart chakra are becoming buzzing like crazy, integrating this light, encouraging me to step into my power. I encourage you as well. Remember, you water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, deep Scorpio season right now. Go deep. Reprogram yourself to what feels right in your truth, your way, in your heart. Demand the respect from other people. Work on your healthy boundaries. I send this to you with so much love and many blessings to you all. Namaste.